Today we're going to be looking at negative commands, how to tell people not to do something. So for a non-reflexive negative command, it's super easy. All we have to do is take our typical negative phrase, ne and pas, and put it around the verb the exact same way that we normally would. So for example, if we had a typical sentence, it's not a command, it's just a present tense sentence, nous parlons anglais, we speak English, and we wanted to make that negative, we would put our ne and our pas around the verb. Nous ne parlons pas anglais, we don't speak English. When we put it around a command, we're going to do the exact same thing. The only difference is now we don't have our subject pronoun there. So if we were commanding, we were saying, let's speak English. Parlons anglais. It's the exact same as our original sentence. All we've done is we've dropped our subject pronoun to form it into a command. When we want to say, let's not speak English, all we're going to do, put that ne and the pas around the verb. Ne parlons pas anglais. The rest of the sentence doesn't change at all. So, question number 1. Create a negative command from the following sentence. Vous finissez votre travail. How would you tell them not to finish their work? Question number 2. Translate the following negative command into French. So imagine that you're speaking to your little brother. If you don't have a little brother, that's what you do. And we're going to tell him, don't watch TV. Alright, when we want to give a negative command with a reflexive verb, it gets slightly more complicated, but actually at the exact same time easier. Let's look through the steps. We're going to begin with the same basic steps as forming any of our commands, where we drop the subject and drop the final S from a to form of an ER verb. It's the exact same way that we've always formed a command. However, in a negative reflexive command, we're going to leave the reflexive pronoun alone. So our positive reflexive commands, where we're telling people to do something to themselves, we are going to change our reflexive pronoun into a stressed pronoun, and we flipped it with the verb and connected it with a hyphen. In a negative, where we're saying don't do something to yourself, we skip those steps entirely. The reflexive pronoun stays as a reflexive pronoun, and it stays in front of the verb. The only other thing we have to do to make it negative is we still have to include the ne pas around our entire verb as normal. Remember that the reflexive pronoun is considered to be a part of the verb, so you should have a ne, then your reflexive pronoun, then your verb, then your pas. If it helps, you can do this part before dropping the subject. It really depends on how comfortable you are with adding in that ne pas and in finding what part of the sentence is your verb. So let's look through an example. So we're going to take the sentence, tu te rases ce matin. So you are shaving this morning. And we want to tell this person, don't shave this morning. So we can do this one of two orders. We're going to drop our subject, get rid of that tu. Because that was a to form and a raser is an ER verb, we have to drop that S from our to form. Leave the te alone. The te is going to stay as a te, it's going to stay in front of the ras. All we have to do is throw ne and pas around the entire verb. So we have ne, te, rase, pas. And then our object stays the same, ce matin. If that was confusing, then we can go back to that exact same beginning sentence do step 4 first, adding in our ne pas. Tu ne te rases pas ce matin. This is a little bit more like how we've done them in class, how we take our regular present tense sentence and form a negative present tense sentence. And then just go through the rest of the steps from there. We're going to drop our subject, drop our S, and leave everything else alone. So, for question number 3, explain to me what is the major difference between the formation of reflexive commands and negative reflexive commands. All right, now question 4, we're going to try to apply some of these into our own sentences. So, turn the following sentence into a negative command. Okay, so just like question 1, I'll give you the full present tense sentence, and you're going to turn it into a command and then into a negative command. So, sentence 4, nous nous couchons vite. How would you say, let's not go to bed quickly? And then finally, question 5. Translate the following negative command into French. So we're speaking to a small child, and we're going to say, don't get undressed.